Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This is your host, Rising Oblivion. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about the June predictions for the Persona 25th anniversary, or the Persona times. Guys, I am excited to see what we have going on here next. It looks like we have some decent bit of news that's going to be happening for Soul Hackers, so I'm excited for that. We're going to be having the Persona Time stuff going on, potentially maybe even some more stuff going on during the Summerfest for ATLUS. So really, there's actually a lot of stuff going on for ATLUS stuff, at least here in June in the next couple of months, especially with Soul Hackers coming out not too far away. So we have a lot of cool stuff to be excited about when it comes to just ATLUS stuff in general. I know this video is supposed to be more towards the 25th anniversary stuff, and it will be, but I just wanted to point out, like, we have a lot of cool stuff headed our way when it comes to ATLUS news and just ATLUS games in general. But let's go ahead and jump into predictions, things we'd want to have, things we'd like to see during this Persona 25th anniversary. Alright, and the first thing that I wanted to point out was 2 years ago at this exact same time, was it 3? God, I'm having a hard time remember. We had something come out around this similar time, and I know this isn't something to, make accurate predictions on, but we did get Persona 4 Golden around the same time in June, around this same sort of time frame. So who knows? Maybe a little bit of an anniversary thing. Maybe that means they'll do something with Persona 4 Golden. I don't know. Fingers crossed. I'm not trying to be a port beggar. I shouldn't have to say that every single time. I could want what I want, damn it. Make a 10 community always bullying people. I mean, it's whatever, man. But I think it'd be interesting to see if they would actually try and do something a little bit more with Persona 4 Golden, or at least try to acknowledge how long it's been out on Steam, and maybe that somewhat tries to, I don't know, entice them to bring the game to other places. It may not. Who knows? Again, it's ATLUS, but I have fingers crossed that they're going to be doing something with Persona 4 Golden, at least bringing it somewhere, or hopefully at least just acknowledging the things that we've, basically done for that game because of it coming to Steam. The rewards that it won, it had like the best controller game on Steam. It had stuff like jrpg awards and stuff that, records that a PS2 game should not be breaking during the modern era, especially on Steam, where it's like, that's probably the farthest from the people that would actually be playing something like Persona 4 Golden. But literally, it broke so many records and everything. Hopefully that's something they acknowledge and want to, continue to run with that success. So I would love to see something for Persona 4 Golden. I don't know. It doesn't even have to necessarily be a port. A port would be nice, though, but just for them to acknowledge it or to do something with it, maybe do something else on Steam with it, I'm not sure, but it'd be nice to see something like that happen, or maybe them bring the dancing games over to Steam as well, because I feel like that would translate pretty easily over to Steam. But I would love to see some more Persona 4 Golden love in some way because of the success that it has had on Steam. I think it's worth acknowledging, and I'd hope ATLUS would acknowledge that. Now, those are predictions that I think are a little more predictable, but let's go into some predictions and things that maybe aren't so much, predictable, or something that is more of a dream. I would love to see not only some P4 love, but some P3 love as well. I think the biggest thing that I've constantly wanted out of these Persona times is to have something regarding Persona 3, at least getting some sort of remaster, or heck, I'd take a port. I know that P3, a lot of people argue, with the team stuff and everything else, that it needs to change. And, I fully agree. I would love to have something like Persona 3, but having full party support, or maybe even possibly giving you the possibility of just switching between having the normal main character or the female main character. That would be really nice, or female protag, whatever you want to say. Giving us the possibility to basically switch between either one and just being able to experience a game like that, similar to what they did with SMT3. Hopefully it wouldn't be locked behind DLC, with how they did Dante and Raidu, where it, it changes the story up. I realize it changes the story a little bit more and changes a lot more things with Persona 3, but it'd be cool if they could give us an option like that just to change things up, just so we could see everything that there is to have, you know, being able to play portable, being able to play Persona 3 FES. That would be really nice, because then we could have the full experience when it comes to something like Persona 3. And, you know, it needs more love. It really does. Persona 4, I think, is the one that a lot of people still argue about being better than P5. A lot of people still obviously love P5, but giving P3 a good chance would be nice. And I think just them straight porting it would give it hate, because I think so many people who played P4 and played P5, they definitely would not be ready to play something like that. I don't think they'd necessarily like it. Even when I had to jump to my PS3 to play it, even I don't like it. But I realized that if it's done in the right setting, if I just had P3 like on my computer or something like that, I feel like I would still love it way more than what I would if I had to play it on my PS3. I think it matters so much, like where you're playing a game, how the vibe feels when you're playing it and stuff like that. I think playing it on the PS3 just sucks so much. It's so hard to just try and look at that screen and try and use the old controllers and stuff like that. It's just not fun, and it really takes it out of it. But if I had it on my computer, like I'm saying, I feel like it would have a much better experience, or just on the PS4 or on the Switch or something like that. If we could get P3, P4, boom, on the Switch or on console or something like that, I would absolutely love that. And like I said, I'm not necessarily saying this is for sure that's going to happen here, or I'm predicting it's going to happen here, but I would love for them to do this, at least in the future when it comes to these Persona times, or just to celebrate the anniversary in general. I would love to see P3 get the love it deserves, the good ports, giving us maybe the possibility to use FES and portable, being able to switch between the two, giving us full party support. Even if it didn't, just getting a nice port of the game would be nice. It could be a touch-up, a little bit of a remaster, just touching up on some of the, you know, it's not a full remake, but just touching up on some of the bad-looking, like, backgrounds, maybe fixing a couple of the animations, letting the game run at maybe a higher frame rate or something like that, you know, a clean, crisp 30, you know, opposed to, like, whatever it would have been, you know, running at before. But giving us something like that would be really nice. Give us the justice that P3 deserves. Like I said, I think a lot of people say P4 is better than P5, and a lot of people still love P5. It's always the battle with P4 and P5, but we don't really have the room to put P3 in there, because I just don't think a lot of people are able to experience the game unless they have a PS Vita. Like right now, I think P3, the best place you can play it is a PS Vita, and there's not a whole lot of people out there that have that. So I would love to see some love for P3 here at this anniversary, or the P4 stuff I was talking about earlier. But now let's go into my super far-fetched things I would like to see from here. So this isn't even the predictions anymore. This is just my super far-fetched, like, completely out there dream type stuff. And that was just to see something regarding P1 and P2. I think those are the ones that they're least likely to touch upon, but I would love to see something for them though here at this anniversary. P1 and P2, I would argue, need even more love. But the thing is, just from based on how they are, it's a little bit difficult to fully understand, like, how those games work in comparison to P3, P4, and P5, because they really did change a whole lot from going to P2 over to P3, or the P2 duology over to P3. Things changed completely. Well, not completely, but they changed quite a bit. I mean, there's a reason why they call it the trio with P3, 4, and 5, because they do act in similar ways when it comes to mechanics and stuff like that, while P1 and the P2 duology act more like a Shin Megami Tensei game, like a mainline Megami Tensei game, opposed to its own Persona spit-off, you know what I mean? So, those games would be fun to have, maybe in a modern twist. Having base, just normal Persona 1 have a remake is also something super far-fetched, so I'd love to see. What a better way to celebrate the 25th anniversary than the game that is giving us the 25th anniversary, the first one, getting some sort of remaster. Maybe they could even potentially have it be like an old-school dungeon crawler type game, but do similar to what they did with, like, Live Alive, like they're doing with that game, where it's still looking the same, it's still sort of pixelated and everything, but they just clean it up a lot, make the environments look super good, clean up some of the game mechanics, make animations look good, make the actual, you know, complete UI of the game look better, just give us a good touch up on the game, and you know, you can market for like half price of what a modern game would be, but it'd be still like half the work. That is something I would love to see some love, at least starting with P1, then maybe they can move on to P2 duology later or something like that. But that is kind of my predictions slash wants slash super far out there dreams that I would like to have. So I guess I kind of cut this up into 3 segments. First off, I think they'll acknowledge I hope they acknowledge the P4 stuff from a couple of years ago during this time, and hopefully they give some P4 some love. My wants and stuff like that, I guess, is for P3 to get some love. Some things happen to it. And then my far-fetched like dreams is for P1 to have some sort of remaster or something like that. And I'm not even gonna say Persona 6 because I really don't think there's any odds of it being here. I really don't think so. I think a lot of people want there to be something like that, but if it's gonna be in the Persona stuff, I think it'll be at the very end. Even then, I'm not 100% sure. Like maybe it'll be teased or something. I really don't know. I kind of doubt it, but that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more content. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you all so much for watching.